Installing the L3 beta ROM, also called home ROM. This was a pretty cool program that was developed some time ago. I'd like to give credit to the person that did the work because it's a really cool addition to Jungle Lord. Basically, I'll go over what it says real quick as far as the history. Developed by Ideal Joker at Pinside. And this was to give a few features. The most notable one is the Magna Whirl, where you can whirl the Lord letters with the MagnaSave buttons to improve the odds with mini ball. Also, there's a skill shot feature that wasn't in the original ROM. Some combo shot features, multi-ball frenzy features that weren't in the original ROM, multi-ball jackpot, Lord memory stored between the multi-balls, extra ball options. So I'm putting that ROM in right now, and I'm going to uploading it right now, and I'm going to reset the system per the System Alpha board's instructions, which is, man, this is an amazing product. The system board, it's going to allow a lot of vintage pinball machines to be restored. So just to show you where I'm at the steps, this is their video where I've copied over the modified ROM, the home ROM, to the my System Alpha board by tilt, and then press the button to write to memory. So, yep, I'll do that and press the button to write to memory. That's this button right here. And then I'll boot it up. Now that the new ROM code is installed, the next step is start up the powered on. The game will start in bookkeeping mode. Let's see if it does. Yep, the 4 means bookkeeping mode. 0, I don't know what that means. I think maybe it doesn't recognize the ROM, or it's an unexpected ROM. I think 513 means that's the game code. So following this guy's instruction, the new ROM is in. Go to audit mode. Audit mode is found right here. And then I can follow, 18 to free play and other functions, free play to 0. So I'll advance, hitting this button advances that from 0 to 1. So I may go up to free play 18, make sure it's set at 0. Yeah, it's at 30 right now, so I need to set this to 0. Hit the credit button, this should do that, 31. Let's get this to, that to 0. Okay, so I got the L3 beta ROM installed in the System Alpha board, and the process is pretty straightforward. You do have to wipe out the old ROM that was in there before, and that was the L2. So basically I replaced version 2 with version 3. Version 3 is not licensed by the International Pinball Database. There was it was on that database for some time, but it's no longer. It was taken down by the request of, let's see, we'll go to, instead of just making something up, we'll go and find out. So we'll look for Jungle Lord. And from the wiki, it will definitely take me to that page. Jungle Lord Wikipedia. Yep, here we go. Let's go down to, there we are, there's our Jungle Lord. Let's go down to the references, find the link to the International Pinball Database. Yeah, there we go. And if you stumble across a Jungle Lord, it will have the version 2 called Game ROM L-2. There was a very cool home ROM that was developed by a very cool gentleman. What's his name? Oh, geez. I cannot use a mouse pad with one hand. Yeah, okay, this guy here. This is Arthur Herr? Arthur Herr, yeah. So he developed this ROM, and it has all these extra features. It just makes the game more fun. And the main thing I wanted was the ability to take the Lord letters and whirl them with a MagnaSave button. In other words, I'm gonna press this button and you show the letters get randomly changed. So when you're playing the bagatelle, when that ball shoots out from there, it will go up, and sometimes it preferentially hits the R and the D, and then the L gets hardly any love at all. So if you're in that situation, and if you've got some drop targets hit, which will activate your MagnaSave, same thing on the other side, you can hit this stored MagnaSave and burn up a MagnaSave to randomly shuffle these letters. Now these don't go lane status change like Firepower and so many others, where it will sequentially go from left to right, that type of thing. No, it's gonna randomly sequence that. So that's one of the features that I really liked about this ROM. But the process of installing the ROM was pretty straightforward. Just go to the System Alpha board that I showed in the earlier part of the video. Replace your ROM with these two files. Now they come in the binary format files I had. I just had to change the file names from BIN to 716. It's still binary format. These files are still like 2 kilobytes in size, which is, tiny. Yeah, 2 kilobytes in size. And then one other thing I had to do is I had to put a settings file in per the System Alpha guy that was helping me with this. I had to put the settings to where it would wipe out the old ROM. The L2 ROM was wiped out. So I had to take this file right here. Now this file will also change factory settings. It acts like a ROM file or some sort of initiation program, but you have to put this in to blank out the old ROM, and then it'll accept the L3 ROM. Although my ROM file doesn't show it, this is the L3 ROM right here, these two files. This would be for one chip, IC26, yep, and the game ROM file. And that's at a certain hex address in the game's architecture itself. I was shown that by the kind gentleman at System Alpha. Basically, your IC26 file, that's or IC26 chip, which is now represented by this file that's going into the System Alpha board, is at addresses $5800 to $5FFF. That's hexadecimal. Convenient way of representing binary, basically. And then the other file was this file right here. So it was put in the exact way that they suggest you to put it in. You just download it with the USB, and this gives pretty much unlimited access to modifications and stuff like that. If you've got a virtual player, or you can program a little bit, you can modify any game this way. But I'm just happy to get an improved code that Arthur Herr developed. Thank him and his wife for that. I'm sure that took some time and took some effort, but man, it sure makes a good game awesome. And I did play this machine with this L3 ROM in East Haven, Connecticut, in the Hartford area, and had a long talk with the owner. And Jungle Lord's a pin he really likes a lot, and he installed this ROM via ROM chips was the way this was done for maybe more than 10 years, until System Alpha came onto the scene this year, 2025. So just wanted to share that update. This game now has the new L3 ROM, which is awesome. If you want to get a copy of that ROM, I'll be glad to share it with you, with the provision that you use it on your own Jungle Lord machine, blah, blah, blah. Just email me at cattleprods@hotmail.com and I'll send you the L3 ROM. Have a good day. Beat Tiger, beat Jungle Lord.